Mo'onga talau te maunga, ka pua talefusi mo wafuku una te moana. Ko walunga iwi, ka mahi au ki te ropu, mo te hawora o ngā manene. Ke hikina whakatutuki, ko pingi telefoni toko ingoa, nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. That was my introduction in Te Reo Māori, and in English, Mo'onga talau is my mountain, Pua talefusi and Wafukovuna is my sea, Walu is my tribe. My name is Pingi Telefoni, and I work in the immigration health team of MBIE. I have been with the team for 3 years, and have been involved with immigration health for over 8 years. Now, my haere mai, and a warm Pacific greetings to you all. Welcome to the Reconnecting New Zealand to the World session. And before I begin, I would like to thank you all for tuning in to the 2022 EPA Virtual Summit. And I would also like to acknowledge and thank the organisers, especially Alex, Zach, and Bianca, and the rest of the team for working tirelessly behind the scene to make this event possible. And so today we'll be talking about reconnecting New Zealand to the world. What we will cover in the session, we will discover our journey as an organisation, Immigration New Zealand, in the past 2 years during COVID-19, when it all began, where we are now, and into the future post-COVID-19. Main part of the journey included the 2021 resident visa, the enhanced immigration online system, border reopening, updating the Immigration New Zealand list of low incidence tuberculosis countries and territories. And Raina Lee from my team will also take you through past and current data and trends that we're seeing from individual countries. And hopefully it will help with planning ahead. Then I will summarise the key messages, and just a reminder, if you have any questions during the session, you can pop them through the Q&A section, and we will provide a summary with answers through email at the end of the session. Our journey. 2020. What an unforgettable year. And before we had our first case of COVID-19, we had officers at our panel clinic across the globe that were going through the uncertainty of COVID-19. I can still vividly remember the announcement in our 6 p.m. news bulletin, and it was hard to grasp or even know what will happen. How do we prepare my family, my job, my team, the organisation as a whole? A few months earlier, our M5 partners and EPA decided that it was best to delay our 8th annual Intergovernmental Training Summit in Greece. And as an organisation, things happened quickly. So to protect our border, temporary measures were put in place, and that was to restrict travels and control the spread of COVID-19. And with these restrictions came the need for border exemptions. On the 25th of March, New Zealand as a nation went into level 4 lockdown. A state of emergency declared, border closures, which was a historical event for us as an organisation. As a country, our key role is to process visa applications, and now our border is closed. Our offices in Mumbai, Manila, Pretoria were closed due to COVID-19. And in April, the government announced that all travellers into New Zealand must go into a managed isolation quarantine facility for 14 days. So this was really the beginning when we saw our role changing. Teams within our organisation, across government, came together, and that was to build systems, put policies in place, processes, from the ground up. And that was to deal with a situation that we never dealt with before. In my work life, my year ended pretty quickly. So I went into maternity leave. Off I went. 2021, that came about pretty quickly. The 8th Intergovernmental Live Summit was cancelled. Our focus then really shifted, to providing the virtual updates. As an organisation, in February 2021, we regretfully closed our offices in Mumbai, Manila, Pretoria, and we also withdrew visa processing function from our Beijing office. And that was a result of border closures and rolling lockdowns throughout the world. But things got better. As a country, we reached a huge milestone in getting our whānau, our families, New Zealanders vaccinated. So in July 2021, we needed to prepare for when our border would fully reopen again. So we trained staff across a number of different visa categories, and that was to ensure efficiency and demand would be met when applications come through. And in September 2021, the New Zealand government announced the 2021 resident visa. So this was a new one-off residence pathway, which meant that a large number of work visa holders will be able to remain in New Zealand permanently. It was the government's way of recognising the immense contribution migrants have made to New Zealand during COVID-19 and the uncertainty they faced, with closed borders and necessary changes to immigration settings. So the new resident visa will also allow employers to retain settled, skilled and scarce migrant workers, reflecting their critical part in New Zealand's economy. So far, since phase 1 opened, that was on the 1st of December 2021, we've received approximately around 70,000 applications. So that is a large number for our staff to work through. Applicants, they must be in New Zealand on the 29th of September 2021. That was when the announcement occurred, and be on an eligible visa on this date, or have an application that was submitted for an eligible visa that was later granted. Again, yes, applicants must be in New Zealand to apply unless they are the partner or child of a principal applicant. And there are also other criteria that must be met to apply for this visa, and it can be found on our website. The medical requirements is a limited medical and chest X-ray certificate, and if previous general medical certificate and chest X-ray, it can be reused if it's still valid for this visa. We have made system changes also that will improve efficiencies in processing and free up capacity. So this includes moving more visa categories onto our enhanced immigration online platform, which allows for greater efficiencies that's in processing visas through the automation of routine tasks. On the 31st of July 2022, the enhanced immigration online system went live with visitor visas. And the enhanced immigration online system is the platform for visa applicants to submit their applications to us. It is now merged with our internal immigration health system, and that is connected to the e-medical system that you all use. So when visa applications are submitted through the enhanced immigration online system, it means that health cases are created from our end only if the applicant is required to provide one, which is determined by their intended length of stay in New Zealand and the type of visa that they have applied, for which, this is an improvement to the visa application process. On the 1st of March, phase 2 of the 2021 resident visa was launched, and that was on the Enhanced Immigration Online system. And this meant that applicants must submit their 2021 residence visa online, and we will determine whether a new medical is required or not. So to demonstrate, we have Grace here. She's looking to apply for her 2021 resident visa. She qualifies as her partner is currently in New Zealand as the principal applicant, and she's currently based offshore. So she logs into the Immigration Online system on our website and submit her application. The Immigration Online system then searches in the Immigration Health system, and because her last medical certificate was completed more than 3 years ago, she doesn't have any valid medical certificate in our system. Then the Immigration Health team then creates a new health case for her, which in this case is a limited medical and a chest X-ray certificate. And that is created from the Immigration Health system. She is then given a NZHR health case number. And of course, she'll approach one of your clinics to complete and finalize and submit it through back to us in e-medical. So our main goal is, for all visa types to be transferred to the Enhanced Immigration Online system. And so as far as we have the visitor visa and the 2021 resident visa in the Enhanced Immigration Online system. And until all visa types are transferred over, our two processes, which is the upfront medical that you see on the left here, and the application first through the Immigration Online Enhanced system, they must coexist. If you have searched for an applicant in e-medical and they do not have any recently created health case in e-medical from INZ, and when you prompt the applicant, they do not have or cannot provide an NZHR number, then it will be an upfront medical certificate for your clinic to create. Transitioning from one way of working to another is difficult, and it will be harder to have two systems coexist. But of course, I have total confidence in your abilities to adapt as our panel member, and I'm sure we can get through this transition smoothly. So our experiences so far, there are really two main issues that we're seeing. The first is previous health cases are not being recognized due to discrepancies in data. And as a result, new health cases are being created. If you have applicants coming to your clinic and they have recently completed new medical certificates, please do not continue with the newly created health cases. Just let us know via email, send us an email and we will update their record accordingly. The second, we're also seeing data entry errors from when clients complete their online applications, which is then reflected on the new health cases being created for e-medical. So please continue with the health case if it's a minor, data entry error. So if it's missing a few letters or there's no middle name. However, if it's significant, for example, the name is totally different, or date of birth, or passport numbers does not match the identity document that the client provides, then please raise an identity concern for our team to resolve and complete. And then you can go ahead and complete the rest of the health case. Right, so I think we've reached our live polling questions. And this is our first question. Previous valid medical certificates can be reused for the 2021 resident visa. Is that true or false? So I'll give you guys a few seconds to select your answer. Right, of course it's true. And I'm sure everybody got that one right. Our second question, if an application is submitted through the immigration online system, when should the required medical certificates be completed? So A, before submitting the application, B, when gathering further information, or C, after submitting the application, and if prompted by Immigration New Zealand. Again, I'll give you guys a few seconds to complete that question. All right. And I'm sure everybody's selected C. So after submitting the application, so these are the applications that are, it's application first. The applicants must submit their application, and then if there is no medical certificate, then we will create one and let the applicant know. Now the third question, final question, is upfront medicals will continue until all visa types are shifted to the enhanced immigration online system. Is this true or false? Again, I'll give you guys a few seconds to provide an answer for that question. And of course, this is true. Moving on to the second part is border reopening. So at this stage, our main focus is reconnecting New Zealand to the world. Visitors applying from Pacific Island foreign countries were able to apply for visas from the 16th of May. From the 4th of July, all work visa categories will open for applications, which includes the accredited employer work visa, and that's going to be on the enhanced immigration online platform. And from the 31st of July, all student and visitor visa categories will reopen. As well, also the maritime border will also reopen from this day. We also have other updates, and on the 7th of June, a few weeks ago, we updated the list of countries with a low incidence of tuberculosis. And really this is to align with recent data from the World Health Organization. 85 countries or territories were added to the list. Dominica and Libya were the only countries removed from the current list, as they no longer meet the requirements to be considered low TB incidence countries. So what does this mean for applicants, you as our panel members? For upfront medicals, please visit our website for the most up-to-date list. Determine if the applicant is applying for a temporary visa, and if they are intending to only stay in New Zealand between 6 and 12 months. If they are from these countries or territories, then they will no longer be required to provide a recent chest X-ray. So really the most recent, most significant would be Samoa, Tonga, and Vanuatu, and that's for our recognised seasonal workers. And for a majority of the 85 new additions to the list, we probably receive a really low number of applications from them. But please visit our website for the updated list. Right, so I'll now pass it over to Raina Lee to present some data and trends that may help with forecasting and planning as we reopen the border. So take it away, Raina.
Thanks, Pingy. My name is Raina, and I'll be presenting to you the trends where you'll expect to see an increase in demand for immigration medical examinations. Since COVID-19 began, a lot of our panel clinics have experienced a reduction in appointments for immigration medicals. As New Zealand borders reopen, we're expecting this to change. If we have a look at the year 2019, before COVID, we can see that the countries that were receiving the most immigration medical volumes were India, China, South Africa, Philippines, and Samoa. As we move to this year, and bearing in mind that the data shown here on the graph for 2022 is from January to May of this year, rather than for the whole year, countries such as Philippines, India, China, Vanuatu, and Samoa may be expected to see more applicants coming in for an immigration medical exam. Now, these trends are only a prediction to what we are seeing currently and may change as borders reopen. I'll now hand it back to Pingy.
So thank you very much, Raina. It was really informative, and I do hope that those trends will help you in planning ahead as we reopen the border again. So key messages. The COVID-19 pandemic resulted in the historic closure of our New Zealand borders, and this has caused an unprecedented challenge for our immigration system. We have had our roles in the changing environments of COVID-19. We have had to adapt our services, introduce new policies, processes from the ground up. And this work cannot be stopped with a flick of a switch, particularly as we continue to run two immigration systems together. One that was specifically set up for the ever-changing COVID-19 environment, winding down some of that work, and one where we are transitioning to fully reopen our border to the rest of the world. The new normal, or back to some type of normality in terms of how we once operated as an organization before COVID-19. The 2021 residence visa is now in the enhanced immigration online system, together with visitor visas. And of course, just a reminder, previous medical certificates can be reused if they are still valid for this visa. Upfront medicals, as well as application first medicals through the enhanced immigration online system, will continue to coexist. That's until all visa types are shifted into the enhanced immigration online system. We have also updated the list of countries with low incidence of TB, and that's in accordance with the most recent WHO data. So 85 new countries or territories were added to the list, and only 2 countries were removed as they no longer meet the requirements for low TB. You can check out the most up-to-date list on our website. And as we prepare to reopen our border to the rest of the world by 31st of July 2022, it is still very difficult to predict the number of medicals that will come through, due to lockdowns that are still happening in some parts of the world. But I am confident that with your help, despite the numbers, we will be ready to safely welcome the world to Aotearoa, New Zealand once again. So we're here, the Immigration Health Team, we're here to support you. the very important work that you do on behalf of Immigration New Zealand. And if you have any further questions after the session, please feel free to reach out to Dr. Rob Coford, our Chief Medical Officer, for any clinical questions and for any policy, process, and e-medical questions relating to specific health cases. You can reach out to us, the Immigration Health Team, by email as well. And I would like to finish with Ma mahi tahi ka ora ka pua wai. By working together, we will flourish and achieve greatness. Malo au pito.